Hi, today's message from Notary TV podcast is about providing journal entries upon request. In Texas, we must provide a copy of a journal entry when asked. It's a public record. The law that you can refer to about this is Texas Admin Code 87.52, and we're going to take a look at that. You may have these three questions that we'll cover, and you may be interested in seeing a step-by-step process written out in case you run into this situation. After the video, or actually right now if you want to, you can email tutorial01@notary.tv and you'll be able to get all the notes that come with this topic. Let's get started. Today is October 23rd, 2023. I'm Brenda Stone, and my partner, Jake Barkhalter, is working, so you're just stuck with me today. Earlier this month, we received a message from a notary in Texas who asked if a copy of a journal entry was requested. Was he legally obligated or able to provide it? Well, of course, the answer is yes, but he had contacted a large notary association's hotline, which incorrectly stated that his journal entries could not be provided to the public without a subpoena or a court order. Fortunately, he began to second guess that decision, and he reached out to us. He had already told the requester that he could not provide that information, and so I showed him the laws and told him what I would do in his situation. We're not lawyers, and we make that very clear. Please remember that whenever you listen to one of our podcasts. We don't give legal advice. However, we are able to read in our notary laws and refer back to them, and that's what our mission is here at Notary TV Podcast, is to give Texas notaries the opportunity to become familiar with their... I'm smiling because my dog has decided to have a little breakfast by my feet, and he's crunching, so sorry if you can hear that. Anyhow, our mission is to give Texas notaries the opportunity to learn their laws and show them how easy it is just to look up those things and find them out for themselves, because this is a typical example of what we hear again and again about notaries who are reaching out for hotline help. Okay. Now, we're not going to read through every word of the large paragraphs on the left-hand side, but I am going to cover the paragraphs on the right-hand side where I just sort of summarized everything. And again, I'm not an attorney. I probably don't have the authority to summarize, but I believe that this will at least get you started and make you familiar with what we're talking about. When a notary receives a request for a copy of a journal entry, the notary shall promptly provide a certified copy of any entries in the notary public's records to any person who requests them, as long as they pay the fee. Within 10 business days after receiving the fee quoted by the notary to the requester, the notary must produce... There's another dog sound. The notary must produce the entry, or the notary must set a date and hour within a reasonable time frame to produce the certified copy of the journal entry or entries. Failure to do so is good cause for revoking a notary's commission. So 3 questions will come to mind pretty quickly after a notary hears that information for the first time. First of all, how do I know which entry they want. Should I just hand them my notary journal and let them thumb through it? No. Your journal is public information. However, it's not there for a fishing expedition. Only the notary who owns the journal should be going through it and browsing for a certain entry. Now, the way that we do it, or the way that we teach notaries to do it, is not law, but we suggest that they ask the requester in writing and have them sign and date it. And we do that not because we're trying to be difficult, but because we want our notaries to be protected, because there is a clock on this activity. Okay, you'll see that in a minute. In our steps of how to proceed. So how much can I charge for this? Well, if you go look at Texas Government Code 406.024, you'll find a list of fees there, what we are able to charge. A notary may charge $1 per page for an entry that is printed, copied, and attached to a certificate. The notary may charge $10 for a certificate under seal. So you will need to produce a certificate to go with the entries. If you believe that you're going to incur postage or mileage or copying costs, then you can pass that along to the requester. So, is a certificate required? Yes, it is. If so, what certificate do I use? Well, if you go to the link in this handout, you'll be able to download all the sample certificates provided by the Secretary of State. Okay, just a little bit. Let me scroll back. And in that packet of sample certificates is one called Certified Copy of a Notary Journal Record, or of a notarial record. It requires minimal information, the venue, B, C, and D refer back to the date, and E is where you explain the document that you attached, which is an entry into a copy of your notary record. Okay, so because I knew that trying to talk about it, I would probably jumble it up, and I did. So I have put the words down here, A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, when you complete that certificate, you need to sign it with your notary certificate, your notary signature, and you also need to put your seal on it. Now, when I describe the entry that I've been asked to pull, I'm going to put the date of the notarization, the type of notarization, the type of document, the title of the document as noted in my journal, the name of the signer, and how that signer was identified. That is, to me, a way to describe the entry that is being attached to the certificate. Okay, so let's just go steps. I believe there are 7 or 8 steps. All right, first of all, when the requester contacts you, ask for a written, dated, and signed request for the entry specifying the following: the date of the request, the name of the requester, the address of the requester, the name of the signer or signers, the date the document was signed, and the document type or title. So it may be a deed of trust, a permission slip, an oath, that sort of thing. So you need to put that in there. Ask them to put that in there so you know what you're looking for. You're not going to go fishing for them. Quote a fee. Upon that first contact, quote a fee, ask for payment in advance if you're going to charge. The notary fee for the certificate, the entry, copy, the postage, delivery method, etc., the mileage, all that needs to be outlined in the quote. And that's what you'll charge them for, that exact bit of information that they're asking you to pull. Now, if they expand the scope of what they want, then I'm not sure. I'm not an attorney, but I believe you will be able to redo your quote based on an expansion of what you're looking for. Okay. Let the requester know that you will return a copy of the entry within 10 days from the request they made in number 1. And if for some reason you're held up, say you're on vacation or that sort of thing, and you cannot produce it in 10 days, 10 business days, then you'll need to advise them of that. Give them another date and time that you will be able to produce it and go from there. However, you need to read TAC 87.52 for yourself and maybe even contact the Secretary of State if you are not able to produce the item within 10 days. Okay. Find the entry or entries in your records. So go to your record book, make a copy of each entry only. Don't make a copy of the entire page. Understand that if you have put something like their DL number, their passport number, their birth date, anything that's identifying personal information, then you must redact that before you produce it and send it out. And by they, in that case, I meant the signer, not the requester. The requester doesn't know this information, and they should not be able to get it from you, which is the NPPI, the non-published personal information, like a DL number, passport number, birth date, that sort of thing. Complete the certified copy certificate as shown above in the example. Make a new journal entry and explain in your journal that you did this act, being as detailed as you would like to be, but I like to be fairly detailed when it comes to me producing something like this. And just to be on the safe side, deliver the information to the requester using a method of delivery that can be tracked. And then number 8, just to be on the safe side, double check to ensure your mailing address is accurate on the Texas Secretary of State website. Keeping your address current is one of the most fruitful ways to ensure your commission stays safe. If you don't, keep the Texas Secretary of State apprised of your address at all times and have the current address in your profile on the Texas Secretary of State's website. It can cause you to miss something in your mail when, say for instance, if there's a complaint that comes about because someone perceives they couldn't get to you to request the information. I know in these days of spam calls, a lot of times I won't answer a call because I don't recognize the number. And hopefully if they want something, they will leave a message. But suppose that happened and someone doesn't like to leave a message and they are just not very nice people and they send the Secretary of State a note and say, hey, I tried to get this notary to send me this, but she wouldn't even answer her phone. Well, the Secretary of State will then send you a request by mail. And if you don't have your correct mailing address on file with the Secretary of State, guess what? When you don't answer that complaint, your commission is pretty much revoked forever. So that's just a little tip. At the bottom of these 5 pages, I have included links to Texas notary laws in case you just can't go to sleep one night and you want to read up. I've also asked for you to please click like for this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you would like a copy of this transcript, which is what I've been scrolling through, please send an email to tutorial01@notary.tv and you will receive an email full of Texas Notary tools, including this document. Yes, I do want your email address. No, I am not going to spam you, but here's the problem. People have relied on Facebook and YouTube for communicating with their audiences, and there are times when even the most careful social media person will make a mistake and get their channel pulled. So when that happens, you can't reach your people, and it's very frustrating. So we're not spammers, and we just don't want to lose touch with you. Okay, well, we're going to do better. We're going to get more of these out and hopefully help you out. And we hope you have a great week. Be safe. Bye.